and she helped us put stuff on Facebook. We had a project website. We literally reached out. I don't know how we could have reached out anymore. We had city newsletters that were mailed out twice during the process. We had a booth at Hayden Days. We did lots of things on Facebook, tons of stuff on Facebook. We held a community festival that was really well attended at Atlas Elementary. We had a public survey. We, let's see, we had lots of workshops with Planning and Zoning and Council. If you look at that's what a lot of this is tons of different workshops. Those are all public. We had the survey went out. I don't know if I said that.
Melissa, does every household get a city newsletter?
Yeah, I think so.
The city newsletter is mailed to every mailbox in Hayden, including businesses and PO boxes.
Okay.
So that was twice, plus, and we push them back to the website, which was constantly being updated. So then it got time for doing the public hearings, and that was during the pandemic. And we talked with our public involvement consultant, like, how do we do this now that, you know, we're ready to finalize these documents and it's during the pandemic? So we use social media a ton, which we know that people are on social media. I mean, the stuff that's come up over the weekend, that's where they got the information. So we used that, we used our website. So we put videos explaining each plan. They were each like an hour long on the website. And then we went on Facebook and said, here's the video to watch it, right? So we did all of that. We had frequently asked questions, and I put that we had 5 Facebook posts in that period of time when we were looking to approve the comprehensive plan, reminding people that it was out there, reminding them that the video was there, reminding them that we were looking for feedback constantly. And I could pull up the Facebook page if you want to see it, but it was just a ton of stuff out there for people to do that. So I just wanted you guys to remember kind of where we've been and that we did bring the public along for the journey. So once they were all done, then we did a billion workshops with Planning and Zoning and Council on writing the new code, because we had some new land uses that we needed to write zone code for, and that took several months. And we had lots and lots of workshops, and we recently had hearing and public meeting for that. I think it was at the last meeting. So then, since then, we've reached out because now we have code, which eliminated the multifamily zone, and but we don't have any properties that are zoned those types of codes, or zones. So we reached out and.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
We have currently in the 2019 zoning map, we have no zones that are multifamily.
It's no longer in our code, our zone code, chapter 2 of title 11. It does not exist.
Okay, but our map does show it.
Yep, but there's no design standards, there's no requirements, there's no nothing. I mean.
Yep, we've just changed that going through our code amendments to conform to some updates by the comprehensive plan. One of the updates in the comprehensive plan was doing away with the multifamily zone.
The reason I bring it up is I had a resident call and talk to me about they are in a multifamily zone now, and it's a cul-de-sac, and there's 10 or 12 houses, and they were really concerned about what ramifications this has on them.
Right. Yep, I'm familiar with it too.
And so that's why, you know, I'm wanting to know the process. This process I get, it's the process that what we're going through right now to inform 1,800 people about what we're doing and how we're doing it.
Yeah, so you've got a copy of the letter, I think, that Brett sent out, or that's emailed out. So that was another public outreach. We haven't done anything yet. That's a public outreach to say, we could change your zone. The city's gonna initiate this process. If you don't wanna change, check this box, and a lot of people have. But if you're multifamily, we have to do something, so give us a call.
If they're multifamily now, and it doesn't exist, how can they stay in the same zone?
That's what I said, if it says on there, if you're multifamily, we have to fit you into a zone, so give
Can they
us a
go
call.
into R1?
Well, we're not recommending it at this point, but P and Z and council are the ones that make the decision.
But they can.
They can request it. Yeah, they can request it. We haven't said that they couldn't.
So, out of curiosity, is this going to cost any of the residents a fee to
No.
go through? So, why weren't the other parcels in the city provided a free zone change?
So this is a city
This is-
initiated, so the city.
Just like when we change code,
Mhm,
like
this-
if we change code, nobody pays for it, we do the work on our own.
Yeah, so there's still an option for folks, and in the future too, there will be, this won't negate that, but going forward with a zone change request. I told P and Z last night, we will just in the future continue to see those, and council will continue to receive those recommendations. That's just something allowed under the local land use planning act. This is a chance, since there are 2 new zones and 1 zone is removed, that the city went through the initiation process to offer folks the chance to change.
So do the letters just go out to the multifamily zone folks?
No, they went out to anybody who could,
But that's the,
Talk about
that's the
it.
change, there was there were new zoning they have to go into, why we're commercial and say, I don't know if there's R1 or residential suburban, where they offered the letter?
yeah, so if there are people who are in an area that could go to mixed residential based on the comp plan, they got a letter too. If they're currently R1 and they're mixed, there are people who are like, that's awesome, I would love to go to mixed residential. There's others that are like, no, I wanna stay R1.
No, my
Perfect.
question is, I understand it's a city initiated zone change. Well, we eliminated 1, so it only seems like those are the people who would qualify to have an option. Why would we offer a zone change to anybody outside that eliminated zone classification?
Because action number 1 in our comprehensive plan is to change a zone map for the new zones that are created. You know, to have properties
Well,
zoned.
There were new zones. that were
There's new
created as well.
zones
So
created that
those
didn't
properties-
exist before.
Those properties
Mixed use and mixed
affected by,
residential.
those properties affected by the change in the future land use map were contacted. So not all property owners were contacted. They weren't in an area that was affected by the plan change.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's still a bunch of light industrial, commercial, and R1
So,
properties.
you're saying that the people that fall in the category of, we've eliminated the multifamily, you gotta choose something,
Right.
correct?
We gotta
That's
figure
right.
that
That's
out.
one-
But then
category.
you're going beyond that, because that's something that we as a city eliminated, we gotta put them somewhere, I get that.
Mhm.
But then we have people that are in existing, zones of either commercial or R1, commercial or R1, that we're saying, oh, by the way, you can change if you want.
Mhm. Right, as a
So
part
it
of the
just seems to
city
me that
initiated
you should offer it
process.
to the whole city then.
But there are some properties
but
that are
they're
not
not.
eligible to change under the comp plan.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
no.
where
Well,
the future.
it seems like it's a discriminatory move, in my opinion.
So someone who is currently R1 and is showing up on the future land use map as R1 didn't get a letter because there's no change proposed.
And that's a good chunk of the city.
And that's,
Yeah, he's missing the part.
Yeah,
So-
what's
so
it-
with
what
the
am I
new-
missing?
The new areas.
yeah, so nobody's zoned mixed residential or mixed use right now.
Those
So
are
we can't
new-
even
new
use
areas.
those parts of the code we just wrote because nobody's zoned that.